Abso-fucking-lutely.
Every day in San Francisco, 2 more men hear the grim news. You have AIDS, there's no cure. Since doctors in France and America isolated the virus in 1983, research has proceeded at a frantic pace. The method used by the virus to destroy the body's immune system has been discovered.
Welcome to Empowered Talks. This is Romo Miklat, and today I am inviting you to another conversation that you need to hear. In fact, we need your help to share this because I am with Danvic Rosadiño of Love Yourself PH, and we are here not just to celebrate but also educate everyone of what the organization is all about and what it stands for. Love Yourself PH is a community-based organization in Manila, Philippines, and it promotes self-worth leading to self-care among the men who have sex with men, or MSM, and the youth, but the organization is mostly known to provide HIV and sexual health-related services to the community. Danvic Rosadiño is the Director of Operations of Love Yourself PH. He spearheaded various HIV and sexual health researches, programs, and innovations such as Project PrEPI or PrEP Pilipinas, a program that introduced the HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis in the Philippines. Another is the self-care or the introduction of HIV unassisted self-testing in the Philippines, and he also conducted several researches on HIV spread and incidents among men who have sex with men in various clinics in Manila, Philippines, and Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Welcome to the show, Danvic!
Hi, Roma, and thank you so much for inviting us. And I hope everyone who is listening and watching us right now is having a great day.
First of all, I wish to congratulate everyone in your organization on your 10th anniversary. Grabe, isang dekada na. Wow, like that is I would say a very selfless work. I mean, it's a decade worth of selfless work in how definitely you've changed a lot of lives of a lot of people. Pero kanina, di ba, in-introduce kita, I basically just read the introduction of what Love Yourself PH is all about. Pero I want to hear it coming from you. How will you describe your organization to other people at para kanino ang Love Yourself PH?
We're so happy na we didn't expect actually that we will be lasting 10 years. In fact, Love Yourself, yun nga, it just started in 2011 with just 6 people. At itong 6 na taon na lang to, they just wanted to help the community. They just wanted to help their friends. Before kasi, the picture of the epidemic, the HIV epidemic before, 2011, it's real, while there are services available, parang it's not configured na it's na parang friendly siya. Siguro if we will be comparing back the picture, before kasi it was fear tactics, meaning if may HIV ka, mamatay ka. Or if may HIV ka, may sakit ka. And you know, these 6 people who wanted to just to help their friends because basically wala silang access na services na talagang akma for us men who have sex with men, and that's MSMs. I think gagamitin natin yung term na yun later. So these 6 friends, they just wanted to help at nagsimula ang Love Yourself in just, you know, creating these HIV testing events. And from that organization, nagsimula lang sa event lang. Ngayon, we are widely known in the Philippines and in the region, in the Southeast Asian region, to provide HIV-related services. HIV-related services meaning that's HIV awareness, testing, initiatives so that you can protect yourself, pati treatment, care, and support para sa ating mga kapatid na may na may HIV. So, we are mostly known to provide that, but Love Yourself is more than that. Pangalan pa lang Love Yourself. We wanted in this organization na we wanted to promote self-worth o yung pagpapahalaga sa sarili. And the best way for you to know aside from taking care of yourself, we wanted to, to share to other people na kailangan mong alagaan ng sarili mo. And the first thing for that is for you to, to dare yourself na kilalanin mo ang sarili mo. Because if you know kung sino ka, you know how to take care of yourself better. And if you know how to take care of yourself better, that's a time that you can share it to other people as means of multiplying joy and happiness. So from that organization that started in just HIV awareness, right now we are foraying into people taking care of themselves, but more of on sexual health, mental health, and other wellness activities that really, focuses on taking care of yourself.
I love that. I love when you said specifically na you have to take care of yourself para rin you can be a blessing to others and you can help others who also need help, 'di ba? Kasi sa totoo lang, 'di ba? Danvic, ang dami-daming ganyan. Usong-uso ngayon yan, self-care, self-worth and all. Pero why is it like the louder the campaign goes, parang ang hirap pa rin i-apply sa sarili mong buhay. Ano? Ang hirap. Totoo yan. And I just love that I found out about your organization. And parang you covered it all basically. Not just HIV, not just trans health, but also mental health. And you're promoting self-love, not just to, kasi self-love naman is genderless diba?
Totoo naman. It's really, sabi ko nga, laging mantra namin in our organization, yun nga, yung sinabi ko kanina, dare, care, share principle. If hindi mo don't know or di mo tanggap yung sarili mo, it's not a simple process, diba? And sabi mo nga kanina, it's really genderless. Kahit sino ka pa, you need to take care of yourself. And you need to know who you are. So, regardless of your gender, you need to take care of yourself. And if you know how to take care of yourself naman, tulungan din natin yung ibang tao para mahalin at alagaan din nila yung kanilang sarili.
And also, I would like to congratulate yung 6 na taong nag-umpisa nito. Siguro hindi rin nila na-imagine na, wow, it will be this big and it will last. Sabi mo nga, hindi nyo na-imagine na it will last for 10 years, diba? But now, Danvic, I'm curious to know, can you share a story that you will never forget when you became part of Love Yourself PH that somehow it had an impact on you?
Well, I actually started volunteering for Love Yourself in 2014. Kung siguro 3 years in existence na si Love Yourself. And before yun nga, testing events pa lang din ang ginagawa namin nun. So, actually, it's very cliche yung pagsali ko. It's really just to help the community. Way back then, I've been in college days, I've been volunteering in various organizations. And before back then, wala akong friends I can share my own story, who can really relate kung ano yung napagdadaanan ko as a gay person. So, when I needed to have an HIV test, nakita ko yung isang event ng Love Yourself and I joined there as a client pa lang ni Love Yourself. At doon ko nakita na parang, ang sasaya naman ng mga baklang to. Parang, bakit parang ang saya-saya nila tumutulong sa community and libre ang lahat ng services. Pero parang, alam niyo, very welcoming environment. And I think that's one value din na pinapahalaga ni Love Yourself. In our sense of community, we always espouse a safe space na, a safe space for us to be who we are. At kapag kilala mo and you can, you really know yourself, you could release what you can do, your own potentials, and you can help others as well. So yun yung safe space na kinreate namin, especially when I started to join Love Yourself, dun nga in 2014. Before, I didn't expect, ano bang nagagawa talaga ni Love Yourself, ganyan. But I cannot forget one time na I became a HIV counselor na. So, I've been facilitating HIV tests. There was this one time, a college student na I was volunteering na in Love Yourself, and then it was his first time na magpa-test for HIV. And then, as simple lang as nalaman niya yung result niya, basically na nakita niya na okay, HIV negative siya. After nun, hindi niya napigilan na umiyak siya, as in sobrang umiyak siya. As parang sabi ko, HIV negative po kayo. Kinaklarify ko lang, baka po kasi
akala niya positive yung oo.
Kasi na-expect mo as baguhan na HIV counselor, parang, iiyak to pag positive, pero hindi negative siya, pero umiyak siya, todo umiyak siya. At parang hinayaan ko lang siya na ma-process mo siya. Tapos tinanong ko kung bakit siya umiyak. Ang sinabi niya, never in his life na na-express niya yung ganong emotions, yung ganong feelings, at yung kung meron siya nasabihan, kung ano yung mga pinaggagawa niya in the past few years. At lalo na't kinimkim niya lahat sa sarili niya na, ay, baka feeling ko may HIV ako, feeling ko, I cannot help, baka meron na ako ito, mamatay na ako. Yun yung kanya mindset before. So, totally nagbago yung mindset niya nung tinulungan ko siya, nung malaman ko lang status niya. At the same time, nasabing niya lahat ng nararamdaman niya, lahat ng nasa loobin niya para, na basically naipon in the past because wala siyang masabihan. So, Love Yourself became his safe space. At ngayon, volunteer na siya sa Love Yourself. And he's also creating his own ripples of positive change, ika nga, sa aming organization. And those stories are just one of the million stories na nakuha namin in the organization. At doon ko na-realize na even though we are just volunteering, we can really make a difference.
Oo, siguro sobrang takot niya, no? I mean, the fact that you cannot express yourself as a gay person, that's one, to your loved ones. Tapos, magkaroon ka pa ng possibility that you are an HIV patient. I cannot imagine. Actually, it's not right for me to say that I can just imagine. And no, I cannot imagine the fear that he has to go through every day. Like, waking up, parang positive ba ako? Baka may sakit na ako, baka may taning na yung buhay ko, or And that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And I want to go there. Let's stay on that lane, Danvic, because of course, we wanted your 10th anniversary of Love Yourself to be more meaningful here on Empowered Talks. Danvic, I need your help para naman maunawaan namin as audience, as people sa society natin. We want to understand what HIV is, because like you said kanina, 'di ba? That's always the first step to understanding Parang lahat tayo natatakot if we don't understand something Same with COVID, 'di ba? Nung hindi natin siya alam, takot na takot tayo. We don't go out, 'di ba? Nabago yung lifestyle natin because we don't know anything yet. But now, HIV has been existing for many, many years. Pero ang problema, hindi pa rin siya, the knowledge is not yet shared to a lot of people. Kumbaga kulang pa yung mileage para maintindihan tong HIV na ito. To a point na since hindi mo naiintindihan, ang nangyayari, you alienate people. Kaya hindi ulit din sila nag-open up because they don't wanna be, parang ayaw naman nilang katakutan sila at iwasan sila ng 'di ba, society. Ayaw naman natin 'yon. So now, can you help us siguro kahit brief discussion lang on the things that we need to understand about HIV? For example, the first question ko, ang HIV ba and AIDS, are they the same?
That's a very good question. Lagi ko yan natatanggap every time. Bibigyan ako ng education regarding HIV. It's very important to note na kailangan muna natin malaman what HIV is.
Yes.
HIV is Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Meaning, isa siyang virus or katulad nga ni COVID, isa siyang mikrobyo na it doesn't exist sa ating mga sarili. Nakukuha natin siya in external environment, meaning wala siya sa ating katawan. At ang ginagawa ng virus na to, pag pumunta siya sa ating katawan, it causes immunodeficiency. Or ibig sabihin, pinapahina niya yung ating immune system. Our immune system, yan yung lumalaban sa iba't ibang klase ng sakit at infections. So, ibig sabihin, if mahinang iyong immune system, mas prone ka na magkasakit. If malakas ang iyong immune system, you are basically healthy. Kaya labanan yan yung mga everyday infections na nakikita natin. Human, ibig sabihin, of course, tao. So, tao sa tao lang. Hindi siya makukuha sa lamok, bubuyog, or any other means of animal. It means human to human lang ang transmission. Since natatransmit siya tao sa tao, it can only be passed 2 to 3 ways. Yan. So, naipapasa lang siya sa 3 paraan, which I'll explain later. So, HIV is the virus na nakukuha mo. So, ano kinabahan to ng AIDS? Kasi nga parang lagi sila nagkakadikit Ang HIV, yun nga, it's the virus. Pag pumasok siya sa katawan mo, it doesn't necessarily mean na, you're dead. Diretso ka kaagad doon. So, para siyang cancer na may stages 1, 2, 3, 4, ganyan. Ang pagpasok ng HIV, so that's actually, nagsisimula yan sa stage 1, that's nagpo-progress siya. Kasi ang ginagawa ni HIV, pinapahina niya unti-unti yung iyong immune system. Hindi siya bigla-bigla. So, yung kapag stage 4 na, o yung sobrang hina na ng iyong immune system, the late stage ng pagpasok ng HIV, that is AIDS, or Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome. Acquired, ibig sabihin, nakuha mo nga siya. Nakuha mo siya sa isang tao na merong HIV. So, hindi siya immaculate conception na paggising mo na lang, may HIV ka. Nakuha mo siya sa tao na merong HIV. At yun nga, acquired immune deficiency, yun nga, mahina ang iyong immune system. And syndrome, ang ibig sabihin ng syndrome, dahil nga sobrang hina na ng iyong immune system, marami ng signs and symptoms, marami ng sakit na lumalabas. Kaya late stage na yung pagkakaroon ng pagkakaroon ng AIDS. So basically, actually, to be honest, no one dies because of HIV. They die because of the complications na nararamdaman nila dahil nandoon si HIV sa kanila at mahina yung kanilang immune system. So basically, HIV is the virus. AIDS is the late stage ng pagpasok ng HIV sa katawan natin.
You mentioned kanina there are 3 ways to get it, right? Ano-ano yun?
The 3 ways to get it is first, blood and blood products. Pag nasalinan ka ng dugo na may HIV or organ donation, kaya kailangan may screening sa mga blood tests to ensure na hindi contaminated yung blood. And also, if you're sharing syringes, yung panturok natin, for example, share kayo ng glutathione, ganyan. Or for those people who are injecting drugs, that's one way also of transmission. Yan yung pag-share ng mga blood and blood products. The next one is mother-to-child transmission. So kapag si mommy ay may HIV, pwede niya maipasa sa kanyang baby habang while pregnancy, habang nagbubuntes, habang nanganganak, at habang nagbibigay ng breast milk o gatas ng ina. So that's the second one. The third one, and the most controversial at hindi natin pinag-uusapan because it's taboo here in the Philippines, unprotected penetrative sex. Lahat ng paraan ng pakikipagtalik na walang proteksyon at penetrative, may pagpasok. So, ibig sabihin, if there's any mode of sexual activity na may penetration, that's one way then to transfer HIV, especially if you are unprotected. So, those are the 3 ways. Blood and blood products, mother-to-child transmission, unprotected penetrative sex.
I have a question din sa unprotected penetrative sex. Kasi 'di ba Danvic, kung buntis nga minsan 'di ba pumapalya yung condoms. Is it possible then that even if you're practicing protective sex, may possibility pa rin ba that you may get HIV? Protected naman, lagi ka naman nagko-condom. You use whatever protection that you need. Pero posible pa rin ba? Is there a small chance na, you may get it through sexual activity?
Using condoms actually greatly decreases the chance na magkaroon ng HIV by up to 98 to 99%. So bakit nga ba, ano yung 1%? The 1% is the miraculous situations, I would say, na posible so, yan yung posibleng may butas ang condom mo, or you're using an expired condom, or if you are just using condoms. For someone kasi na walang natural lubrication, minsan napupunit, nasisira ang condoms during matinding penetration. So, that's why we advise, especially for men who have sex with men, lagi namin na-advise na kailangan samahan ng water-based lubricant because condoms are made of latex rubber eh. If you use water-based lubricants, hindi siya masisira. Pero pag ginamitan mo other oil-based lubricants or ginamitan mo ng shampoo or ng lotion,
yes.
Ganyan, it can destroy the condoms. Doon nawawala yung effectivity niya. So, dapat water-based lubricants. Kasi masyadong kiskisan, nakakasira siya ng quality ng condoms. That's why we recommend water-based para kahit magkiskisan na matindi, yung capability na masira si condom, it's very, very, very rare.
I love that we are talking about this now kasi this is educational, to be honest. It's not something to be ikakahiya mo. It's not something to be embarrassed about. This is part of sex education and it's very important that people they understand this, 'di ba? And may tanong din pala ako. Ang dami kong tanong ngayon. Kasi 'di ba HIV is of course it's something to be scared of, pero ano ba yung dapat ikatakot mo when you, for example, you have this feeling na baka meron ka nito? Can you walk us through ano ba yung pinagdadaanan usually ng mga na-encounter niyong patients and paano nila, how can they help themselves conquer that fear and take that first step on understanding kung meron ba sila talaga o wala nung HIV?
Siguro if we are talking ngayon, if our time frame is 1980s or 1970s, ang picture ng HIV before is just like what we have in COVID now. We don't know anything yet. Na parang the possibility is you will really die. Pero yun nga, HIV is not a death sentence anymore during this time of 2021. Ang dami ng advancements, especially during the time na, you know, if you will be asking me, meron ba dapat ikatakot ang isang person living with HIV? I think, yeah, that's the correct term. Ang tinatawag natin sa isang taong may HIV ay person or people, kapag marami sila, PLHIV, person or people living with HIV. So, if a PLHIV sinabi niya na, ano pa dapat ikatakot ko? To be honest, wala na. Because there's so many advancements. We have treatment and wala pa siyang gamot. Sadly, kasi virus is a tricky part na hanapan ng gamot. COVID na lang, di ba? Wala pa tayong gamot as of now. Hirap-hirap niya hanapan ng gamot. But this treatment, para siyang maintenance na gamot. Para ka lang may hypertension or may diabetes. So, ang ginagawa ng treatment na ito, it suppresses HIV sa iyong katawan. So, ibig sabihin, pinapababa niya yung number ng HIV sa katawan para yung immune system mo unti-unting lumakas at, you know, para you'll become healthy. And dahil healthy ka, malakas ang iyong immune system, hindi ka kakapitan ng iba't ibang sakit and infections na nakukuha na isang taong mahina ang immune system. And the most important thing is, if you are on treatment and you are undetectable or sobrang konti na ng HIV sa iyong katawan, you cannot transmit it to other people or untransmittable. So, ibig sabihin, with treatment at kapag undetectable ka na, kahit mag-sex kayo, hindi mo na maipapasa ang HIV sa isang tao. So, that's an advancement that we don't have in the past. And here in the Philippines, napakaswerte natin because treatment is free. It's provided to us for free. So, you know, kung may dapat ikatakot ba ako? Well, technically, you just need to make yourself healthy. Pero lahat yan, problema yan ng mga tao, regardless if you have HIV or wala, 'di ba? So, may dapat ikatakot pa ba ngayon? Wala na. Ang key na lang para malaman mo kung anong dapat na care para sa'yo is of course to have an HIV test. Because that's the only way for you to know if you have HIV. We all have an HIV status. Lahat tayo may HIV status. But sometimes we just don't know what it is. And for us to know how to take care of ourselves further, we need to have an HIV test. If you're HIV negative, you need to know para you'll stay HIV negative. And if you are HIV positive, it's not the end of the world. Kasi meron nga treatment that can make you healthy and can make you live a normal, healthy life. So wala na dapat ikatakot ngayon. It's really that first step for you to have an HIV test. And of course, this is confidential and you'll be assisted and we'll be there every step of the way. We'll just need to have an HIV test, of course, once you are ready.
Pero may I ask, why do you always give emphasis to this phrase na this is not a death sentence? Kasi parang laging I've watched, like I said earlier, I've watched your diba, yung mga interviews mo and yung talks mo, and you keep on mentioning that. And I want to take this chance to ask you, bakit laging sinasabi yan for HIV patients or HIV positive na mga tao na sinasabi nyo lagi, it's an assurance, this is not a death sentence. Why is that?
Before kasi, yun nga, in the 1970s or 1980s, the picture of HIV before talaga is we don't have any treatment yet. There's no way for you to, they don't know how to protect yourself pa na makuha siya. So definitely before, especially in the United States, once you have it, namamatay sila. At karamihan na nagkakaroon before is gay men. Kaya in the United States. So, na-stigmatize siya. Sadly, as compared to cancer or any other diseases, HIV is a highly stigmatized disease. Stigmatized meaning ang daming judgment na sasabihin ng mga tao once they knew that you have it. Na,
That and mental health, 'di ba? Bading ka ba? Oo. Siguro nakipag-ano ka sa ibang, siguro nakipag-ano ka sa bading, no? Kaya nagkaroon ka. Kasi usually, of course, I grew up in the 90s. Then, you know, when we heard about people dying and celebrities dying of you know, mga ano ba yun, gossips on ay namatay yan sa ano yun, sa AIDS daw. Sabing ganun, parang, bakit bading ba yan? Eh, di ba may asawa? I mean, you know, the chismis goes on and the assumption goes on. Of course, the dead can no longer tell na, hoy, hindi ako ano, whatever, di ba? And I didn't get it because, you know, I had an intercourse with another gay person. But the thing is, that doesn't matter. The thing is, bakit nyo ginajudge agad yung tao? And for some reason, syempre, while I was growing up, I also had that not sort of knowledge in me. So I thought that was right kasi no one was correcting me. But now it's nice that we have this chance to correct ourselves and actually educate ourselves na hindi pala tama yun, dahil ito yung tamang information right now. And that's one reason why, you know, Love Yourself PH is also existing. It's for you to educate people, to educate us, kaming mga mamamayan na hindi namin alam na, you know, there are different ways pala, and ang dami namin hindi alam. You keep on saying that because para naman hindi sila maging ma-depress. They won't be sad and say na this is the end of my life.
It's really more of an assurance na if you have HIV, it's not the end of the world. There are many advancements right now na you can continue to take care of yourself and you live healthy. In fact, kapag nga umiinom ang isang taong may HIV ng kanyang treatment, studies show na you could live up to 70, 80, 90 years old. So parang, alam mo yun, it's the same life expectancy here as a normal person here in the Philippines. So that's why we keep on saying na HIV is not a death sentence anymore. Kasi we are not in the past. There are so many advancements, and you know, because it's highly stigmatized at wala pa tayong sex education and we consider sex as a taboo here in the Philippines, we really don't talk about it. At you know, we are deceived by this judgment and other stigma na nalaman natin as we grow up. But you know, anything that we learn, we can unlearn, 'di ba? By continuous learning. Diba? So, that's why we are having these conversations para ma-ensure mga tao with correct information backed up by science, and really, you know, to assure them na kapag nakuha mo to, you will not die. Period.
And can you please correct me, ano ba ang tamang tawag sa patient na may HIV? You said earlier, person living with HIV. Okay, so that's important kasi I think I've read it somewhere na the reason why you call it person living with HIV, it's because they're living a life like a normal person. Kaya lang parang may, yun nga, sabi mo nga, may hypertension, may diabetes, di ba?
Really more of a politically correct term na basically if they have HIV, it doesn't necessarily mean na may sakit sila. Kasi nga, if they are healthy naman, they don't experience any symptoms, they're okay, diba? So they're basically living their life. Before kasi when we don't know the picture, marami nagamit na terms like HIV survivors, HIV.
Yes, survivor.
Oo, yung pa nagamit na terms before. But basically, the best term na matatawag natin sa ating mga kapatid na may HIV ay PLHIV. Person or people, pag marami sila, PLHIV.
In those years, mula nung nag-start ka with Love Yourself PH, let's talk about the Philippine setting. How significant yung pagtaas ng HIV cases in the Philippines? At nasa na tayo now that we are having this conversation, 2021?
It's very, very significant. Tulad nga nasabi ni Pia Wurtzbach na sumali siya sa Miss Universe 2015. It's timely and relevant yung kanyang HIV awareness dito sa Pilipinas because sadly we are experiencing a fast and furious HIV epidemic here in the Philippines. I remember noong 2019, before the pandemic, we are experiencing 35 cases per day. So 35 Filipinos are diagnosed with HIV per day, and actually comparing noong 2010 we have a 200% increase of HIV cases, and we are the fastest worldwide.
Oh
Number
my
one.
gosh.
Yes, and it's actually a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest. Because the bad thing is, of course, it's rising. Tumataas siya. And there are many factors kung bakit siya tumataas. But the good side is, again, tulad na sabi ko kanina, the only way for you to know if you are HIV positive is to have an HIV test. So that means, comparing ng 2010 up to today, marami na tayong na-diagnose. Sa pagtutulungan ng government, other community-based organizations, other community organizations na nag-offer ng HIV testing services, nalalaman nila na ang status nila ay HIV positive. So that's why I always say data is always a double-edged sword. May advantages and disadvantages yan. But what we know is that right now, yung number na yun is still underdiagnosed. Ibig sabihin, there's still a percent of people out there na hindi nila alam na sila ay HIV positive. And they are unaware na possible na ikakalat nila yung virus to other people. Kasi if you have HIV and you have it, for example, ako, nakuha kong HIV today, it will not reflect agad-agad. And I will remain asymptomatic or wala akong sintomas for 2 to 10 years. So, ganun siyang katagal.
Tagal.
So, yes, there's a possibility na nakakalat mo siya nang hindi mo alam. And, malalaman mo lang siya kapag mahina na ang iyong immune system, na sobrang weak na at nararamdaman mo na yung mga sakit. So, we don't want to go on that path. Na we want to spread the love, not the virus. So, it's very important for us to be aware para matulungan ka. Na yun nga, if you're HIV negative, protect yourself. If you're HIV positive, tuloy lang din ang buhay. So, that's why HIV testing is extremely important.
Danvic, yung HIV testing, can they do that sa, what do you call this, hospitals? Or is it just for special centers gaya ng sa Love Yourself PH? They have to go through your organization so that they can schedule their test?
Well, actually, in any hospital naman, in various hospitals, HIV testing is offered. So, wala namang problema. Private, may fee yan. In Love Yourself, we have our 8 community centers that provides HIV testing for free. Wala kang problemahin. So, everything is for free. You just need to set up an appointment, lalo na during this time. Kasi dati you can just walk in. Pero ngayon kasi, because it's COVID, we need to practice physical distancing, nag-set tayo ng appointment system para hindi nagka-crowd sa centers natin. So you just need to set up an appointment, and that's for free. Wala kang babayaran at all. No hidden charges. Talagang pupunta ka lang, you'll be provided for free. And also, we have a service which we call self-care. Kapag you don't want to go to the centers, kasi nga, concerned ka ngayon, ay, naku, baka may COVID pa,
Wala kang AIDS, magkaka-COVID ka naman. Parang gano'n.
Siyempre, naiintindihan natin yung iba na parang they still need to want to know their HIV status, especially if, they have anxiety na, shit, ano yung HIV status ko? So that's why we introduced a service which we call self-care. That's a unassisted self-screening service. So meaning, you'll just order a kit, dadalhin namin siya sa'yo, i-deliver sa'yo, tas you'll just need to test yourself. And you'll be guided by many instructional materials. In fact, you'll be guided by our self-care ambassador, Catriona Gray, our Miss Universe 2018. So, ituturo niya sa'yo paano gamitin, paano ma-analyze kung ano yung result. And you'll just, if you need counseling, meron doong volunteers who are on standby na you can talk, and that's entirely online. So, may mga service din kami na ganon. That, there are many ways for you to access HIV testing. And, yung iba, especially sa mga centers namin, it's for free.
Ayan naman pala. If you're listening, if you are one of those who are afraid, but you want to know your status, your HIV status, then you have that. You can I say enjoy? You can take advantage of that privilege or of that offer na hindi ka magbabayad, but at the same time, you get to understand ano ba yung status mo, lalo na kung kakabaka-baka talaga.
In HIV naman, you not necessarily get it from sex. There are ways nga na makuha mo pa siya. So that's why we don't want to prolong that agony na parang kinakabahan ka, ano nga bang HIV status ko? Kasi nga, we all have an HIV status and you just need to know kung ano yung status mo so that you could take care of yourself para, you can enjoy life regardless of whatever your HIV status is.